Hi guys, Samantha from Jessama Tutorials here, and today I'm going to show you how to create a mosaic pendant to go with the beads that we made in our previous tutorial, and that was the faux coral and faux lava bead tutorial. We've already got those beads ready to go, so now we are going to make our pendant. So what you're going to need is some black and white Cernit clay. You can use any brand that you want, but I'm going to be going with Cernit today because it buffs up really nicely. And you're going to want those run out on your thickest setting, which is about 2mm thick for me. Then you're also going to need a really thin piece of Cernit, white or black, either doesn't matter. Run out on your thinnest setting, and that will serve as a base for our cutter. And the cutter I'm using today is my largest half square maxi. And then you're also going to need a small amount of coral, the colour that we made in our previous tutorial. And if you haven't watched that tutorial already, I will have a link to it in the description below. You will also need some cutters, and I'm using the 3 smallest cutters in my mini cutter set. And you will also need some cutters from my micro cutter set. And those are the cutters that we're going to be using today. And now, just before I forget, there will be a giveaway today, so please do stay until the end of the video to see what is in that giveaway. It's going to be a cool giveaway. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out by popping our clay down, the 2mm clay down onto our tile, and you want to be working on a glass tile or a ceramic tile. And we're just going to take a piece of grease-proof paper, and we're just going to burnish it down onto the tile because we want it to stick. Like so. And this will make cutting out our beads using such small cutters much easier. Because if it's not stuck down properly, it will stick in your cutters. So then I'm going to start with our smallest micro cassette cutter. And I'm going to start cutting out. And it shouldn't stick because the clay is pretty well stuck to our tile. And so I'm going to cut out a few of those. Then I'm going to go up one size. And I'm going to cut out a few of those. Then I'm going to go up one size. Now I'm just going to carry on doing that, and each size I'm going to probably cut out less because I'm going to use it less. Okay, and I'll just go through until I've used up all of my cutters, and then with the red, let me just show you quickly what I'm going to do with that. I'm probably going to start with these, my 2 largest micro cutters. Actually, my 3 largest micro cutters. Start with the largest, then go down the other side like so. Because I'm going to have a line in my pendant, so I want to make sure that I have the right number of these. Okay. And then I'll show you what we're going to do with these, because these are going to be a little difficult to work with raw like they are. So I'm just going to cut out the number I need, and then I'll show you what to do next. Okay, now we are going to gently remove the excess clay. And just be careful because sometimes the clay can come back up. The ones that we've cut out can easily come back up with the one that we're removing. Like there's one that came back up. We want to try and keep that to a minimum. But if it does come back up, don't try and rescue it because it will have distorted, and so we're not going to use it. We'll just mix it back up. And so if you end up with not having enough, you can just roll it out again and recut. There we go. That's the black, and I'll do the white too. Okay, so here are all of our pieces, and so now you can either take this tile and put it in the oven and bake these for around half an hour at Cernit's recommended temperature, or you can use a heat gun, which is what I'm going to do, And here, let me quickly show you the brand. This is the heat gun that I'm going to be using to set it quickly. And you'll just set it onto your lowest wind speed and just set them. Now just make sure that everything's the way you like it first. Okay, so they have been set, and I've also let them cool because you don't want to be lifting these up when they're not cool. Okay, and so gently lift them up. Like so. And this is a great way to set your beads as well if you're having trouble removing them from your tile. So now what you want to do is you just want to grab the colour groups and just pop them into their own groups. You want the white with white, black with black, and so on. Okay, now that we've done that, I'm just going to grab a piece of greaseproof paper and our piece of white that we have prepared and ready to go, and just grab a cutter and gently press it into the white enough to just get a decent impression. Let's just cut a little bit more down there. There we go. And this is going to help us plan out things. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the reds. And now you want to keep this in the right spot because you're not going to be able to cut this. Just gonna do a line of little red dots. Like so. And just make sure you stay within the boundaries of this so that when you cut it out it's not going to be a problem. Okay, and then you're going to keep the black on this side and the white on that side. And so I'm just going to grab these. And don't worry if there are a little bit of little trimmings at the end. That's fine because we're going to fill this in later. And what I would advise is starting at the edge of your piece and then working your way inward rather than the other way around. I'm just going to place these mosaic pieces all the way around the edge to create somewhat of a border, and then I'll start placing them on the inside because the most important thing right now is just to make sure that I can still cut out things. And so what you might want to do is you might want to even just leave your cutter sitting like that so that you can place it inside, and then you could use tweezers. And so I'm going to fill in my mosaic and then I'll show you what it looks like when we're done. Okay, and here is how it looks. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to cut out that white. Okay. And there is our mosaic so far. Now I'm just gently going to lift it from the greaseproof paper. You want to be careful because these pieces aren't stuck on completely. So I'll just pop this off to the side and I'll prepare a backing quickly. So for the backing, what we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of white and we're going to take a piece of black. And we're just going to roll them out into sausages. Like so. And then we're going to marble that for the back. and that will create a nice interesting back. Okay, squish that back into a ball, and now we will roll it, and then we're going to twist it into almost like a wood grain. There we are, and that is what we shall use for our back. Now just squish it back up into a plug. There you go. And then I'm going to make sure that this is long enough. So I want it to be as long as my cutter. Okay, and then I'm going to roll it out. Like so. And I'm just going to take it down one more setting. So it's now about 1.5 millimeters. And that fits pretty well. And let's have a look at the back. Okay. And just place that on carefully, and then press it onto the surface, and then use your cutter to make a nice clean cut. And I'm just smoothing off the back to make sure that I have no edges. Okay, and then I'm just going to check the back. I'm just going to gently burnish that. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to leave it like that on I'm going to leave it now on this piece of greaseproof paper, and I'm going to bake it for a full hour at its recommended temperature. And actually, just before I forget, I'm supposed to actually be making a little donut hole at the top here. So, sorry about that, I completely forgot about it. I'm just going to place the cutter back in there, and I know that I want the hole around about here, so I can just remove these. And that's the nice thing about using this baked clay. And now if any of you are worrying because I'm putting baked clay onto raw clay and that won't stick, we are going to be filling this in. So I'm just removing those, and then oops, I'm just going to use a nice sharp Kemper cutter to do this. And I just want to make sure that I'm getting that in the middle. Okay, and then before I cut it, I'm just going to press gently so that that's stuck in there. And then I'm going to remove a few of these around the edge. And then I'm going to replace them so that we have the mosaic right up against here. Okay, and then once you've moulded the mosaic around it, press down firmly on whichever cutter you've chosen to cut out this hole, and then I'm just going to see if I can use this actually to grab that out. Okay, and I'm pretty happy with that. And if you're not happy, you can always just insert this again and play around. I just want to see if I can fit one more little piece over there. So I might play around with it just a touch more, and then when I'm done, I will bake it for a full hour at Cernet's recommended temperature. Okay, so here is our pendant now that it is baked, and now we want to fill it in. So I've got some white Cernet and black Cernet, and the black's going to get filled in here and the white's going to get filled in there, and we're going to try and get it to merge around here. Now, just a quick note, if you are looking for Cernet clay and you live in the US, it is a great idea to go and have a look at Linda's Art Spot, because she has a bunch of different types of Cernet. She's got a translucent, she's got metallics, I'm not sure if she has the opaques, but she's got quite a few over there. And if you live in Australia, because I know a lot of you do too, Over the Rainbow is a great place to look if you're looking for Cernet as well. That is where I have bought my Cernet. So anyway, I've warmed up some black here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to roll out a little sausage, and I'm going to pop it over here, and that's just going to create a boundary for me. And then I'm going to take a little bit of the white, and again you have to warm this up to get it to do what you need to do. And then I'll roll that into a sausage too, and that can get stuck over there. Okay, and there we are. That's just what I wanted to do in the beginning. So now I'm just going to go and I'm going to fill in all of these areas here. And you're going to need a fair amount of clay to do that, but don't worry, we're going to scrape off most of it, so you're not going to be using up too much clay for this. But it takes a little bit to get it all filled in before you can scrape it off. So just go and fill it in. And we want some spill off over here, and I'll show you why in a minute. Yeah. And then I'm also going to just pop some around the edge, and I'll show you why I'm doing that in a minute, but it's just going to be to fill it in nicely. So pop the clay right around the edges and things. And then you'll do the same for the white down this end. But just make sure that you also fill in these edges here. Okay, and then when I'm done, I'll show you what to do next. Okay, and so it is basically completely covered in clay now. And so I have gone all around the edges, and you'll see why in just a moment. But for now, I'm just going to stick that down, and I'm going to start using my blade to very gently shave this off. And split your white from your black when you do this. Now be careful, because you don't want to run into your mosaic, because you can slice it. So just slowly slice away these pieces. And if you need to, just press down to make sure that you're filling it in correctly. Okay, now that I've shaved off most of it, I'm actually going to bring over a flexible blade. I'm gently going to start to directly remove the stuff. And we're going to do a fair amount of sanding later. So if you do happen to scrape your mosaic, don't worry too much. And what you can actually do is you can also take your blade and start gently raking it against the sides too to remove clay. And this is just a fairly slow process. And what you need to look out for are cracks. If there are any, you need to gently go and press it in again. So I'll just continue shaving, because this is going to take a little while. Okay, so I've removed as much excess clay as I can, and so the next step is going to be to sand off the rest so we get a perfectly flat piece. So what I want to do is I want to trim off this excess. So I'm going to do it from the front here. So we have a nice clean finish along the edges. And this is why I did the little overlap. There. So we can have a nice clean edge so that we can sand this completely flat. There you go. Okay. So it's going to take a bit of sanding to get this all nice, but it's going to look really nice once sanded. So what I'm going to do to make the sanding easier is I'm actually going to only put this in the oven for about half an hour, and that will make this filling clay a bit more brittle than what it usually is, and so it will sand away quicker. So I'm just making sure that I've cleaned up those edges properly. Okay, so now I'm going to just go pop that into the oven for half an hour, and then when it's done we can get on to sanding it. Okay, so it's out of the oven, and so now I'm going to start on a fairly low grit. This is about 120 grit, and I'm going to go up through quite a few grits until I reach a 1200. And essentially you're just going to wet your grit and then just sand like so. And hopefully you'll be able to see that that's going to start clearing things up. And this has been made fairly thick, so you'll have to go through a lot of clay material to actually reach the bottom. And so just continue sanding until you can see all of these circles exposed. Okay, so after sanding through a 120 grit, then a 360 grit, then a 400, then an 800, and then finally a 1200, this is what you should end up with. And now you need to remember to also do the sides, and you also want to do the back. And so now it should feel very beautiful and smooth to the touch. So now I'm going to move on to my polishing papers, and I'm going to start with a 400 and I'll end up at an 8000. So let's start at the 400, and again you'll just sand it straight face down, and you want to take your time through each of these grits, because the sooner it sands up really beautifully, it gives this absolutely beautiful buff, which is what we want. So take your time to go through each of these grits, and remember to do the sides and the back as well as the front. And it shouldn't take you too long to do this. And now when you're using the other sandpapers, I was using a wet dry sandpaper. It is better to use it by the sink, so that you can constantly be wetting it in water when you're using it, because that just tends to help keep all of the dust out of the air, because you don't want to be breathing that stuff in. Okay, so now we are ready to use our buffing wheel, which has some Renaissance wax on it already, to buff up our piece. are. All done. So you should be able to see that it has a really nice glossy effect to it on the back too, which is really nice. So now that we have got that done, that's basically it for the pendant. And so let me bring over our beads, which we are going to be using. I've got the lava bead and a few spaces. I've already planned it out. And so I don't think I'm going to be using both lava beads. I think I'm only going to be using one plus this. And then we're also going to need our cord. Okay, and I'm going to be working with leather today. And so what we're going to do is we're going to grab that leather. And this is just like a dark black leather. There we go. Just get that loop in. Now let's hope I'm doing it the right way around. Did I? No, I did it the wrong way around. I always do that. If you've been watching my videos for any length of time, you'll know that I always put the cord loop through the wrong way. Anyway, there we are. Then we shall string on a charm. And what we'll do before we actually try and string that on is, what you can do is you can just cut the cord at an angle, and that can help it slip through. There we go. String that on, and I want that up against it nice and tight, like so. Then comes our coral bead, then another charm, and then our faux lava, and then finally one more charm. And these are just little silver spaces, and they can be a little bit tricky to get on if their hole size isn't as large as your cord, but with a little bit of perseverance you can get them on. There we are, that one's coming through. Okay. And there we are. That's our end. Now just bring these up, and we're going to trim them to the right length. And then I'm just going to grab these little cord ends and a jump ring, oh not a jump ring, a round nose plier, and I'm going to give it a good squish. And I'll just pull to see if it's stuck. Yes. I will do the same on the other side. Give it a squish and a squish. Is it coming through? No? Good. Then take a jump ring and just find that opening. Open it up, grab your clasp, slip that on, close up your jump ring, and you'll repeat on the same side. And now remember to stay until the end, because there is a giveaway, so you can stick around to see that. And I actually might just go through the rules quickly while I'm doing this. If you want to enter the giveaway, please do leave a comment in the comment section below, and like the video. And if you haven't subscribed already, also subscribe, and you will be able to enter into the giveaway. The giveaway lasts 1 week, and I will announce the winner on my Facebook group, and I'll leave a link to that Facebook group in the description below the video. And so if you would like to see all the updates, please do join that group. And so this is basically it for this tutorial, and so I do hope that you liked it. I really like how this pendant came out. The mosaic looks really cool. I'll probably be trying this technique out in future tutorials, maybe using different shaped cutters, maybe trying some hexagons or squares, see how that comes out. But I think it's a really cool technique, and so you'll be seeing more of this, especially if this technique is popular with you guys. So let me know if you would like to see more tutorials using this technique. And let me just bring over that matching bracelet so you guys can see. Okay, so here is the bracelet that I did to match, and it's a little bit softer than this one as it doesn't have all the white in it, but I still think it looks really nice. So basically that's it for this tutorial, so I'm very happy with how it turned out. And so now let me bring over that giveaway so you guys can see it. So in the giveaway, what we are going to have are the cutters that I used in today's tutorial. You will receive a full half square maxi set, a mini circle cutter set, and a micro cutter set. And there are quite a few more sizes in here than we did with the other ones. You can see that you've got a lot more small ones. So if you would like to enter that giveaway, again, please leave a comment in the description below the video and you'll be automatically entered into the giveaway. Also, please leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and if you can, please do share this with other people, as that helps get the word around, and that will also help you in the giveaway, so please do that. And if you would like to see updates on the giveaway and who won the giveaway, please do join my group on Facebook. I will leave a link to it in the description below, and it helps me contact you if you did win the giveaway, because sometimes it can be a little hard to contact you guys on YouTube. So if you do comment on this video, please do look out for a comment on your comment a week after you have commented on the video, because if it is you, I will comment below your comment on this video. So if you do enter the giveaway, just keep a lookout for that. And as always, I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye for now.